Is that how to pronounce it? So I've always learned to have fun. Okay, it's very very cool and important. Okay, in your job, in your stuff, have fun sometimes. Okay, so in the process of it, if you're not doing something like that, then quit whatever you're doing. Quit it. So we have some today success rates amongst the young people, young generation. So the back then in those days, okay, every family you must have a father, right? And the fathers usually have a building. At least they have a building, they have a land, okay, at least that they would leave for their children here and there. But if you check it, oh gosh, I'm sorry for that. YouTube is giving me headache. So success rate amongst youth is on the some declining proportion already, because check very well back in the olden days, a family you usually have a father, mother and children, right? And the fathers back then usually were able to secure land at least, okay, that they will give out to their children when they at their demise, okay. So now, but nowadays, that's the proportion, the likelihood of something like that happening, of your father having the land, is actually very very low. Probability is low right now. Why? As the population increase, more population, people are now being born to the earth, and population also plays a key factor. It plays a key role. Population increase is also very very important. Okay, and it is the reason. It's also a reason why the likelihood is of that happening is down, like I've talked about already. But we're talking about success again, to know if success rates among youths are actually dying. Okay, so now let's define success. Success is a progressive realization of a worthy idea. That is what success is. So talking about, if you say success is land, house, cars here and there, then the success rates among youths is actually dying. Okay, but it's not the fault of the youths, it's the fault of population, it's the fault, okay, and it's the fault of the economy, and not usually the fault of the people. So if you define success as cars there and there, then the truth is success rate among youths is actually going down, and the reason is population increase and economy, and okay, social amenities, lack of social amenities, and other factors that those things are responsible, okay, for that. But in this video, we're talking about the fact that we're redefining success to ourselves. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. This definition was given by Napoleon Hill. Okay, it's been a very very, that this definition is, should I say, over a decade old, and that is it. So many useful people took success this way. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. So if we are saying success is a progressive realization of a worthy idea, then it is true that the success rates amongst youth is actually dying. It's actually coming down, it's declining. Okay, if success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea, then the success rates amongst youth is actually declining. Why? Because we, in this present world, we have should I say, less utilization of ideas. That's a simple truth, unlike before. We will have different ideas coming up. If you check the business pattern of, for the business strategy of the olden days man, you would realize they were really good. The ones that are into business were good at it. The ones that are into sports were good at it here and there. But nowadays, not something like, it's not like something like that anymore. Do things out of necessity nowadays. So the success rates amongst youth is actually declining because of that. That's a factor. So there's less utilization of ideas, like I've said, and people no longer understand the real basis or principles of life in general. They don't actually understand that anymore. Someone once said in a book, P.T. Barnum, The Art of Getting Rich, he said by P.T. Barnum, he said, the first $100 is always hard to get. Okay, the first $100, so hard to get from a new business, especially invented businesses. He said the first $100 is very hard to get, but once you can get the first $100, you will keep getting triple of that over time. That's what the person said in that book. So people also lack this information like this. So imagine you don't have information like this. You start a new business and you're trying to utilize an idea, and but you don't know that the first $100 is usually hard to get, and you try 2 months, 3 months, you didn't get $100, then you quit. Imagine that. Okay, so lack of information like this is what is making the utilization of ideas very hard, okay, in our present day world, thus leading to a declining rate of success amongst youths. So the youths in this generation should understand this really well, and they should try get information. Okay, so like I said, success is a progressive realization of a worthy idea. So what ideas do you have right now? If you check the world, we are just living from we are just modeling what has been created. If you check very well, we're just modeling what has been created. We don't have new innovations anymore, no new things. We're just modeling and modeling and modeling and modeling. Why? Because there are no ideas anymore. People are not spending time with themselves. So how will you get ideas? But check back in the olden days, there were ideas, okay? Ideas from people. So ideas were utilized the proper way. Why? Because they knew the basics of living. Back then, the urge to be rich was actually low, okay? This was actually very low. You will see a man 40 years old before he can get a land. And nowadays, teenagers of 21 wants to have a land. Teenagers of 22 want to have a land. They want to build a house. So you can see the urge for wealth is actually on the increase in this our present day world. Okay, and that is the reason why they don't learn the basics of wealth anymore. So that is why success rate among youths is actually declining. Okay, it's actually declining. Okay, check it right now from the 17th century down to this present day century, 21st century, like 22nd, 10th century. We don't actually understand the basis of words anymore. We don't actually do that. We don't actually do that. We don't do that. Okay, we don't understand the basis of words anymore. Why? Because the urge to be rich is so high, so high in people. Everybody just want to be rich here and there. So that is the reason why success rates among youths is actually declining. Why? Because there's less utilization of ideas, because of poor knowledge on the basics of life and what it entails. Poor knowledge of that will lead to the poor utilization of ideas. So thus affecting success, because no good ideas will be utilized. If a good idea is utilized well, it will definitely bring in money. But to bring in money in a respectful way, and in a good way, in the best way possible. So stay connected. So success rates amongst youths is actually on the declining rate. It's actually declining, and so what do we have to do right now to actually probably boost it up and increase it? Like I said, if you want to define success by cars, buying this and that, then then it's not your fault you're not successful, because there are a lot of things, a lot of factors: population, competition, economy, this and that. But if we define success as a progressive realization of a worthy idea, then the reason why you're not successful as a youth, okay, it could probably your fault. But take note of the definition of success again. Success is not the money, it's not the cars here and there. It is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. So if you don't have any ideas, any ideas you are in your head, you are trying to actually work on or utilize progressively, then you are not a successful person. So understand that. So that is the definition we are using right now. Then you are not a successful person. So understand that. Doing this, you have to really definition of success, because I think the usual definition of success as cars here and there is usually installed in many of us today, and so we just live according to what society offers us. We don't live according to what we really want. So stay connected as always. So this is all we have for today. Okay, so the success rate amongst youths is actually declining, all because of lack of poor utilization of ideas. We're just modeling everything right now. We are modeling and modeling. There's no utilization of ideas anymore. Okay, there's no one. Study the United States businessmen in the 17th, 16th century, and you see how dedicated they were. They were not in haste in any way. You see how patient they were. You see everything. That is the reason we had great minds that were created and born in the 16th century, 17th century. But nowadays we have too many foolish people. Excuse my language. So stay connected. You really that is just what we have for now. So share this video if this is helpful. Stay connected. Goodbye.